how does the WIMU Pro system support the performance vision you have at Mainz?
Yeah, it supports our performance on a daily basis. I think the way we structured our week changed, and also I think it's more individualized. The training is way more individualized, and it's more on point. We always have a plan beforehand, but we don't know whether we are out on the pitch for 70 or 80 minutes, or because with WIMU Pro, we know live, okay, what do we need to really achieve our goal for this individual session. So we check out live, and that's changed our schedule, because the way, because let's say if we want to play large-sided games, and we our goal is to hit, let's say, 200 meter of sprint distance, then we know live, okay, what do we need to do additionally? Either we have to play longer, or we have to do some top-ups, for instance. And also the energy systems. We have a better picture of the energy system demands of our individual playing tools, because sometimes we are still guessing in soccer. What do we really target with certain way of playing soccer? Because sometimes, let's say, a 4-on-4 is considered as a really demanding way of playing soccer, or training, a high demanding training session. But we observe that it is maybe sometimes really an overload, mechanical overload, which is not really reflecting the real game, for instance.
How specifically SIVO and the live tracking software has been incorporated in your workflow?
Yes, sure. So we use SIVO also on a daily basis. We have so we have the luck that we have two strength and conditioning coaches. So it's either Jonas, who does the front work, warm up, and maybe some individual runs on the pitch. And so we have one hands-on guy, and the other guy is doing the live tracking part with SIVO on a daily basis. So as I said before, we really track or record every training session live in order to have really a good picture of what's going on, and whether we really hit our aim for the individual session. And sometimes it ends up to an extension, and maybe sometimes it might be the case that we talk live to the coach and say, okay, we have to cut down the volume a little bit, because we think otherwise it would end up in an overload. And that's how we use the SIVO on a daily basis, and to track mechanical load, high-speed running distance, and also internal load.
Sure. Thank you very much for that response also.
And maybe what we've really, so what we've introduced the last couple of months is the tool step balance. And we figured out that it's really a really cool tool in order to communicate, to improve the communication between the physio team and us, and also maybe to observe compensation patterns before maybe a muscle damage occurs.
Wonderful to hear the application in your day-to-day workflow of SIVO, and so because it's a collective experience from WIMU to try to develop this. And sorry, I interrupted you.
Yeah, so we figured out that it's really a good application, especially when you play large-sided games, when you have a lot of turns during a small-sided session. I think it's tough to figure out live what's really going on, whether there's a compensation pattern, because you have too many variables which are influencing the step counting mechanism. But when you play large-sided games, that's fine. You can really see live what's going on. And also the way we included some high-speed runnings at the end of the warm-up, we really cut that live. And we have a deeper analysis afterwards when we analyze the data in S Pro.
I'm truly enjoying the first-hand commentary and experience in the first team, right? So would you also be able to comment on maybe in general the outputs that have been generated through monitoring the whole club with WIMU technology?
Yeah, absolutely. So I was really in charge for the implementation, and I was really eager to push that process, because what I observed 3 years ago is that we don't have really an idea what are the youth players, especially the top talents, are able to really play, and what's their true capacity on the pitch. And otherwise, if you don't have a live tracking system, you're just guessing, because you don't know what's going on live. And in order to have a smooth adaptation, I don't think there is a smooth adaptation in pro soccer, but you know what I'm saying. It's more to have an idea. Okay, how huge is the gap between a youth player, maybe who has a pro contract, but we have no idea, or we had no idea how far is the guy away from the pro team. And now we have an idea how do they perform in a game? How many meters per minute? How many high speed running meters per minute do they accumulate? And also the injury prevention component is really huge, because we had really some problems, especially the youth players who played maybe in 2-3 teams. We had some troubles. We also too many injuries, to be honest. And we observed now the last 1.5 years ago that we could almost eliminate these issues, because everybody is not guessing anymore. So I know exactly, and also especially our highest youth team adapted our weekly schedule, what makes it easier for us to switch players on a daily basis too. Let's say that, so they play small-sided when we play small-sided. They play 10-on-10 on a day when we play 10-on-10. And yeah, and we observed that due to the fact that we had a common tracking tool. And what research tells us is that there's still if you use, let's say, some pro teams, I know in the Bundesliga, they have different systems in the youth team than in the pro team. But research tells us that that's a problem, because every system has a little bit of standard deviation. And if you use different systems, it really affects the reliability of the data. And that's why we really wanted to have one common tracking system, starting from under 17 up to the pro team.
The benefits that you see of athlete tracking when taking into consideration the training adaptations and training design that you carry out. Could you comment on those benefits?
Yeah, of course. Training design, I would say we are still in that process. without having the final results concerning, I would say, the soccer design of our playing style, because we are a team, especially in the Bundesliga, we have less ball possession. So we have a lot of hard work to do against the ball. And in order to be able to do that, we have certain drills. And what we do right now is we are going to evaluate every drill, and we have like standardized pitch sizes and playing times. And in order to be able to compare our playing our special Mainz 05 drills with the youth teams. And the next season we want to implement mandatory, let's say 3-4 soccer drills, and they are standardized. And then the under 17 team, under 19 team, they have to use them as well, with the same playing time, the same pitch size, in order to be able to evaluate that design, how you call it. I would say to evaluate our Mainz 05 soccer drills. But we're still in that process. It's not finished. We have a lot of work to do,